Greetings viewers, today we're doing the starter motor on this 2010 Golf. It's a background, right? So what happened is one night all of a sudden it's not starting. Typically it makes a click noise, but in this case it wasn't making anything, right? No noise, nothing. I tried hitting the starter motor. Typically it works, but that didn't work. But later on, after hitting it multiple times, it did start up. So it did throw me a engine code, which didn't help. The engine code was for transmission, so well, it is what it is. But it did start up later on. I drove it around and then I see that sporadic, right? Sometimes it starts, sometimes it doesn't. So I decided to go ahead and replace the starter motor. So there are some other videos, I guess, like it wasn't detailed enough, so I thought I'd do one myself. So over here you have of course the engine cover with the air filter. You have some ductwork that you need to remove, not that big of a deal. Now over here, that's your starter motor, right? You have two connections. One is this one right here, and there is one right here. It's kind of tricky because this one goes in right here. Now over here, right there, you have a plastic piece. Let me see, this red piece right there, it slides in, right? I don't know if you can see, the focus isn't right. Yeah, right there. So it slides in that slot. You have to remove it. And then you'll see right here, there's a notch. After you remove it, you kind of have to wiggle it. It's just tight, right? Just be careful, don't push anything too much. You don't want to break anything, the connection and all that. And then same on this one. This is just, there is a 13 millimeter right here that holds it in place. So the trick with this one was, right, you see, I'm talking about that right there. The trick with this one was, you'll see it has a cover, which is, let me get it, right here. So it covers it like this. I wouldn't, push it too much. You just have to kind of wiggle it. There is nothing holding it in place. You just have to wiggle it so, it kind of slides out. Once you do that, it's fairly simple. It has two bolts. What I do is buy the part. I bought it from Volkswagen. You can see right here, it has the original sticker and all that. Even if you buy aftermarket, just look at the part, look at the bolts, how it's gets installed and all that. It has two bolts. It's not really visible. It has one on top. Actually, let me show you the one that I took off. Give me a sec. Where's, oh, sorry, right here. So that's the cover, plastic cover I showed you. This is the connector. You have two bolts, so it was like this, right? You have one right here, and then you have one right there. So this one you get from top. You don't have much space, so just you may need a deep socket, you may need a small extension, something. This one you have to get from the bottom, right? There are other brackets in place. So once you put this one on, I'll show you. This one holds a bracket. This one holds a bracket. So what you do is, oh man, I put both of the bolts. Let me get underneath. Right here. So I hope you can see it better, right? Okay, so that's your starter motor right there. Let me remove this right there. So that right there is your bolt. You have something similar on top. So this one goes in here, the one on top. You see this bracket? This bracket will slide in on top of that, and then you have another washer kind of holding in place. Not really a washer, another nut. So those nuts are 13 millimeter, and the actual bolt is 18 millimeter. I did remove this from the transmission, this connector right here. Just be careful with these connectors. And the vehicle could be 10-20 years old. You don't want to break anything, right? That's pretty much it. Once you do that, oh man, once you do that, you just put everything back together. I could not find the torque spec of these. I'm still gonna look. I'm just thinking I'm just gonna hand tight it, make it a bit snug. But these are pretty tight, so you may need a breaker bar, a cheater bar, something, right, to kind of remove it. But then you kind of put everything back on. It's fairly simple. It's gonna save you a ton of money. If you're kind of handy with your tools and all that, just go ahead. You take your time, don't rush. If it's getting make sure that you have time, let's say today and tomorrow. If something goes south, you have time to kind of come back to it. If you rush, you may break one of the connectors or something. You don't want that, right? VW dealer asked for, I believe, $600 to $700 for the part, which is a remanufactured part. A new one is $1,300, and they wanted another, I believe, $700 or something for labor. I mean, look, they can jack the car up. They have easy access. I have no clue why they would charge more than an hour on this, but it is what it is. But it's fairly simple. Go ahead and do it. Save some money. Take care of a vehicle, and you should be good to go. All right. Thank you. We'll see you next time.